do we get commissions when we don't have a huge following? First of all, I want you to get rid of the preconceived notion that you'll get 0. That's a negative mindset that we need to get rid of. We need to manifest the good vibes. Make a mantra every night. I will get commissions. I will get commissions. I don't know, maybe that'll work. I didn't do that. We need to market ourselves. Market yourself so much that it kind of gets annoying, but not so much that people want to unfollow you. I have a pinned post on my Twitter, so if anyone ever opens my account, they'll see my commission sheet. I guess it's a sheet. Commission post first, even though it only has 1 like. But you know what? We ignore that. Instagram is a lost cause, to be honest. I don't like Instagram at all. But if you're big on Instagram, make the most of it. I have a pinned video on TikTok that I need to update. Make the most of stories. But to be honest, marketing is the boring bit. You need it, but just do it. You also need PayPal. Sorry if you didn't want to hear this, but PayPal is literally used by everyone. Out of the 5 people who have commissioned me, only 1 of them hasn't used PayPal. So, just have as many payment options as possible. And always ask for at least 50% up front. Don't do... Well, actually, that's a lie. I don't do that. You do the sketch first. Well, not you, I do the sketch first. And then they have the option to pay 50% upfront or 100% upfront. You can do upfront completely. I just want to make sure, because sketching takes me so long. I take so long to sketch something out. So, just know your process. And also make sure the other person knows. But yeah, do either 50-50 or 100%. Never do the most of the work before payment. Okay, that's all the boring stuff done. We need to think about our audience. Who is it who is going to buy from you? Different countries have different currencies, which means my £20 might be like £1,000 to someone else. So look at your country demographic. Probably it's going to be the country that you're in. And so if you're not in America, do dollars anyway, because a lot of people use USD. We also need to think about, are we doing OCR? Are we doing VTuber models? Are we doing rigs? Are we doing thumbnails? That's all I can think of right now. But stuff like that. Who are we targeting our services at? Content creators are a massive one. People with OCs. D&D campaigns are pretty popular, I hear. I've not drawn for a D&D campaign yet, but it's a big market, so if you can break through into it, go do it. It also doesn't have to be commissions. If you want that passive income, you can also sell things like adopts or stream badges, stream assets, emojis. People sell your character here bases, things like that. Even if you do commissions, I do recommend you have some things for passive income, just in case anyone wants it, I guess. It doesn't hurt to have the option. One of the things about commissions is that it does kind of take your creative freedom away, especially when the person who's commissioning you has a vision, which is fair, they're paying you to do it. However, there are options so that you can maintain your creative freedom and do whatever you want, which is why I present to you Surprise Me commissions. They're super popular. I think it's because people don't really want to talk to each other, which is great, and you can do whatever you want because the whole premise is to surprise the client with whatever that brain of yours comes up with. And for context, as soon as I posted a Surprise Me service, within about 2 hours, I got a commission for it. So get on that if you're wanting to surprise people. But obviously, if you need direction, don't do that. One of the biggest questions I feel like is to do with VGen. VGen is kind of like coffee, but VGen needs an invitation code to get into it. And I'm gonna be real, all the commissions I got were off VGen. I hate to say it, but it's true. I've had coffee and VGen going at the same time. VGen is just the preferred way, I guess. So now I don't even really have coffee open at all now. The problem with VGen is that it's locked by invitation codes that are pretty hard to get into. So if you want to get a VGen code, I recommend applying on Instagram instead of Twitter, and just spam them every time they open applications. That's what I did. And I got in on the 4th go, I think. And I have like 14 followers on Instagram, so you don't need to be famous to get an invitation code on VGen. However, another problem with VGen is that you're not put on the algorithm by default. You have to do quests to be discoverable on the marketplace. The marketplace is basically the algorithm, and to do that you need get ready for commissions, which is basically, adding all the services you want to do. There is a cap on how many services you can do before you're verified. You can only put 5. I feel like 5 is a good starter though, especially if you get overwhelmed easily. So be wary of that. It's the same for their shop as well. You can only post a few things on the shop. You need a PayPal or VGen payments, which is through Stripe. You need a portfolio, which is just put all the stuff that you have onto your portfolio to show people what you do, and that makes you discoverable, basically getting you onto the algorithm so other people can find you. However, I don't think a lot of people are found through the algorithm, to be honest. I think a lot of people who are commissioned through VGen are through marketing, or a social media post that you make catches the eye of someone and they go searching for whether you do commissions or not. So you don't need VGen, but it's really helpful. I know quite a lot of people who are pretty successful without VGen, but VGen is a good option for people who don't really have a massive following like I do, because it has a built-in customer base with people who are ready to spend money, basically. However, VGen does take some of your earnings, but that's the same for pretty much every third party that does commissions like coffee. Art scammers are a thing on VGen. I got a message the other day saying that I needed to identify myself. I had a bit of a panic. It's a scam. So there are bots on VGen. Well, actually, I don't know if it's a bot, but it's a scammer either way. Don't click on unknown links, guys. And don't panic. You don't need VGen, but I recommend applying for it anyways. Have as many services that you can think of that you can do. Most of mine is just illustrations. I do have a your character here though. No one's bought it, but it never hurts to have it, I guess. But I do illustrations more, and that's what people come to me for. So have something that you're known for. Well, not known for, but like people know that you do it. So I make illustrations of characters, and people come to me to make illustrations of their characters. Yeah. That's really it. I don't know what else to say. Check out my VGen if you want a cheeky commission from me. Subscribe if you so care. I talk a lot. I make random videos that don't really have any correlation with each other, but that's just the vibe that I bring. Okay, thank you for being here. Bye bye.